How long did you know each other?
Not long. I met him on Wild Island, back when he was still human.
He was someone who had everything taken away from him. His past, his ability to fight back, even his name. We go to great lengths to cover up our mistakes.
What do you mean, Doctor?
After years of work, a group of scientists managed to tap into the noosphere, the Earth's informational field. An achievement comparable at best to the conquest of space. It was a turning point not just for science, but for the fates of the human race. However, as with all people, each of my colleagues was truly interested in only one person: himself. They began to dream of worldwide fame, of laurels crowning their bald, shiny heads. Naturally, the truth couldn't come out about secret laboratories, brutal experiments, and other such dubious undertakings. It was out of the question. And so, they all got carried away with their dream of a perfect world. You know how the saying goes, great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ. And lo and behold, what do we have decades later? The Zone, in our image, after our likeness.
You were there, right? For the Sea Consciousness Project?
I was once as deluded as they were, but my doubts soon outweighed their confidence. And so when the experiment took place, one of the pods was left empty. The eighth one, or rather, the first, Dr. Kaimanov's pod. My pod. And so you've solved yet another mystery of the Zone, Stalker. Perhaps the most unsettling one. Dr. Kaimanov. Pleased to meet you.
Thanks for your help. Whatever happened to life is the only thing we truly possess.
Frankly, choosing between the two of you wasn't easy. Wasn't my first time, but it only gets harder over the years. But if you don't make the choice, someone else will make it for you. And it usually ends up being worse. I'm not fond of thinking for others, or giving advice, but I get the feeling Strider would approve of the choice I made, however strange it might sound.
There was an eighth pod.
The human brain is too frail to handle a direct connection to the noosphere on its own. In order for it to work, We required 8 participants in pods, filled with a specific solution. I was supposed to be in one of those pods, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Valentine reproached me for my lack of courage. But given how things turned out, I was actually too daring. In the end, what we got wasn't control over the noosphere, but rather the zone itself. The lesser of two evils, if you ask me.
The scientists you mentioned see consciousness. They're still alive.
No, that can't be. S.T.A.L.K.E.R dealt with them back in 2012.
I spoke to the representative through the visiograph in Malachite. They still exist in some kind of form he called subtle matter.
Subtle matter? But that's impossible! That means it's still going on.
Why did you refuse to get in the pod?
Because I've always held on to my belief in humanity. My colleagues, on the other hand, advocated for fixing it through the noosphere, purging it of darkness. How could I consent to such a notion? How could I permit them to rob all of humanity, not just of its ability to act freely, but even to think independently? Everything dark and light about us is a result of our own choices. The zone was born in a place of tragedy and horrific experiments, but I believe in a different zone. A zone open to everyone.
A zone open to everyone? That sounds kind of dangerous.
That's because it's the only way you see it. Frightened and caged, born amid evil and violence. What else could the zone have evolved into? In a place where both humans and nature are nothing more than test subjects. If it had been born into freedom, like Tiger, it might have evolved differently, into a zone of creation, rather than destruction. And then, we might have become different too. We always had the ability to overcome the circumstances. Access to the noosphere would have made us better, even if it meant a rough start. Understanding and forgiving each other is a difficult endeavor.
So, you were the one who created the zone?
Me? No, certainly not. The zone created itself. I merely facilitated its emergence. Although my colleagues and I had different expectations for the outcome of our experiment. You see these blind dogs? I've been trying to tame them for years, but they were born in a lab where they've known nothing but pain and fear. But Tiger here found me on his own. He just came out of the woods one day and tried to steal a sausage. He was born free and had the freedom to make his own choices, you see. The zone is our collective offspring. But all we've imparted to it is suffering and sorrow. It doesn't know any other way. Maybe we're the same.
What do you know about subtle matter?
It was a theory developed by Valentine Darlin, the leader of sea consciousness. Apparently, he's now become the image of the representative. Back in the day, he ridiculed my calculations regarding the existence of the noosphere, while I firmly believed that subtle matter was unscientific. In the end, I turned out to be right. But if he was also close to the truth, that changes everything. According to his theory, subtle matter can preserve a reflection of a person's mind, their personality. If you're implying the representative is real, that means they actually succeeded.
Before me, S.T.A.L.K.E.R was the only one who'd spoken to the representative. That was back in 2012, before sea consciousness died. S.T.A.L.K.E.R managed to reach the center of the zone and return unscathed.
Then S.T.A.L.K.E.R probably knows more about subtle matter than I do. Along with the sea technologies that sea consciousness has mastered during their 6 years of frenetic activity, chances are he's still researching it to this day.
That's why I'm looking for S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Word is he's back in the zone.
I haven't seen him in quite some time. Maybe that's for the best. Our perspectives on the zone have probably developed quite differently over the years. If your information is correct, I doubt he's ventured too far from the cordon. Men like him tend to develop a deep attachment to a place they regard as their own and refuse to let go.
I want to find out if subtle matter is real. Things like this shouldn't be left to blind faith.
The scientific method isn't just about the experiment. It's about being able to replicate it. And I happen to know how to test a few of my hunches. If only Valentine could see me now. Well, perhaps he can. We tried to connect to the noosphere as an experiment in the Orbita underground lab. Back then, I saw nothing like the afterlife. But now, with the zone, I think the truth is worth taking a risk. But first, you need to get the cartridge from the signature station in a different lab, X3, near the cordon. It's been 20 years, so the entrances I knew of are long destroyed, but stalkers always find a way. Talk to Sidorovich, he's in charge of the cordon, and could have heard some stories about X3. I'll send you the code to the cartridge slot. Take it and head to Orbita. Good luck.
No.
Thank you. I understand it wasn't easy, but thank you. It's important to remember that not all of us are like these caged dogs. We can make our own choices.
Got issues with your gear? We gotta get creative here. Let's see what kind of masterpiece we can create. Bring me something interesting. Got issues with your gear? We gotta get creative here. Bring me something interesting. Got issues with your gear? We gotta get creative here. Let's see what kind of... Bring me something interesting.
Oh, take care of everything. I have options to suit every budget. I have options to suit every... I can get some more goods. Come back later.
I'm almost out of coupons.
Come here, bro. Don't be shy.
Want to trade?
Stay safe, bro. And don't be a stranger.
Nice to see you again. Can't promise you a...
Okay. I won't say goodbye. It's bad luck. So, I'm...
What if there wasn't any signal? What if Noontide was just pretending to be a bunch of hapless idiots? While waiting for a chance to seize control of the whole zone? Not much work here, to be honest. Happy to help.
Well, well. Just like old times. The zone's freaking out. The monolithians shoot whatever they see, and stalkers are jumping at their own shadows. But none of it affects business. It just keeps getting better and better. So it's like this. Any kind of psi protection sells like hotcakes. Artifacts, meds, you name it. And I'm always ready to help. I've got a huge selection.
I need to get to X3. Do you know where it is?
I am busting my ass, trying to find it. And you waltz in here expecting me to serve it to you on a silver platter? How the hell did you get word of it?
The doctor told me about it.
You're quite a well-connected stalker. If it's the doctor himself, those rumors must be true after all. All right, let's cut to the chase. I don't give a damn why the hell you want X3. But since we're both in the know now, how about a little swap? I'll tell you what I know, and you do me a favor. Deal?
You got any gossip about X3? I'm all ears.
Let's put it this way. If these stories pan out, it's a win for both of us. The Cordon and me. That's all you need to know for now.
What do you want me to do?
I need you to retrieve a package for me. Some thugs off to the courier who was supposed to bring it to me. My men found him dead, and the package was missing. I really don't like folks sticking their ugly noses in my business. Do you catch my drift?
Who are these thugs? How many and what guns are they carrying?
Some douchebags from garbage, I guess. Looks like they figured they could wait out Monolith at my cordon. But they forgot one thing. In the zone, you can get killed anywhere, especially if you rain on your host's parade.
Is there something of value in that package?
I'm not interested in cheap junk. Return the package and I'll make sure it's worth your while.
Okay, I'll get your delivery back. Where did your people find the courier again?
Not far from here, near the old vehicle station. Just make sure the package gets here in one piece. As for the bandits, do whatever you want. If you take them out, I might even add a tip. You are alive, you lucky dog. Straight. Good hunting, Stalker.
You weren't so quiet this time, Skiff. My men have had you in their crosshairs for a while. You want to talk? Back at the commissary, we managed to part on good terms. Maybe we can do that again. Come on in. Keep your cool, and the guys will let you pass. You have my word.
Looks like we can kiss the dough goodbye, bro. I told ya, never take a gig unless they pay up front.
Don't worry, the clock's ticking. We're over here fucking around while his debt's getting bigger. If this creep doesn't show up, we'll just sell his package to someone else. Must be pretty decent gizmo if he's paying that much for it.
Present arms. What the fuck is that? Where'd you dig this thing up?
I just...
You'll end up with a bullet in your dome if this thing jams in a fight. Clean it up. You've got the whole arsenal tonight. And if I spot even one speck of dust... Ugh, what a dumbass. Zero discipline. And I can't say I'm thrilled to see you either, Skiff. I know your type. Wherever you go, death follows. Well, whose pretty little toes have I stepped on this time? I doubt you're here to catch up with an old friend.
You cross Sidorovich, and he's not happy.
Fuck. I had a hunch that courier job was fishy. But, you know, in times like these, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
How did you end up here? A stick-up? Sounds too petty for someone like you.
I had to move here. It was the will of the fucking monolith. You have no idea what those whack jobs did at Garbage. We ain't even human beings to them, Skiff. We're just filthy rodents that need a bullet or a boot to get out of their way.
Who tipped you off about the courier?
I couldn't care less about names these days, Skiff. Only coupons. And that was one sweet gig. Yeah, I shoved my ethics up my ass. Imagine that. And I don't regret it one bit. Besides, I owe it to my guys. They didn't ditch me at the commissary when I was down. They might be no different from rodents, but I'm just like them now. At least I'm alive.
I need the cargo that Sidorovich's courier had with him, Roosevelt.
Sure, I'll hand it over. On one condition. The last thing I need right now is a war with Sidorovich. But after this, he'll probably shoot me on sight. However, he might be willing to talk about our fate with you.
Fair enough. Hand me the package and I'll pass your apology on to Sidorovich.
Here. You sort it out with him, and I'll owe you one. You have my word.
You are alive, you lucky dog.
You were looking for a package. I got it. Now tell me everything you know about X3.
You are a crafty guy, Skiff. This is the second time you've jumped into a risky deal, and yet you're still in one piece. A rare talent. Folks like you are where zone legends come from. Guess I shouldn't ask what happened to the bandits, huh?
The bandits don't want to start a war with you. They said they didn't know the courier was yours, and they're hoping you'll understand.
They realized whose pie they stuck their fingers in, huh? Fine, they can leave. I'll find some use for those idiots. So, you want to hear about X3? All right, here's the scoop. Not long ago, a little birdie told me the swamps were swarming with folk, looking for artifacts. All because someone found a way into an old base, proving the rumors right. The bald forest prick kept bragging about how business was booming. I was intrigued, so I started digging into our local goss. And the most interesting rumor I heard was about the Oasis, right here at the Cordon.
The Oasis? What's that?
A stalker's dream come true. A Klondike with more artifacts than you can shake a stick at. Imagine the opportunities if this legend happens to be the real deal.
What is the link between the Oasis and X3?
I've seen some documents where it was listed under the number 3. Oasis, 3, your ex, also 3. See where I'm going? We're looking for the same thing. Or at least, for something closely connected. Because according to those documents, the only way to the Oasis is through the abandoned laboratory. But here's the catch. We have the key to the door, the decoder you took from the bandits. But where is this door? Hell knows.
Who told you about the Oasis anyway?
Somebody who's got full of shit written all over his face. He was just messing with me. And when the time came to back it up, he vanished. Poof! Gone for good.
Are you suggesting I find the entrance myself? Where?
Not just suggesting. If we are the only ones who know the way to the Oasis, That information could be worth a pretty penny. As for where, ask the locals. Someone might have heard more than I. Sometimes even campfire gossip ain't all bullshit.